Hi everybody, Jenny here. Today we are going to work on a Seaside mobile, which will be filled with some fun things, including sea glass and clay and driftwood. Things that you're going to need from home are scissors and a hot glue gun. I'm using my low temperature mini glue gun today, and I've gone ahead and plugged that in. So that's ready to go. Inside here, your kit, you're going to have some string and a piece of driftwood, hardy clay, and we've got some cute little sea glass pieces. Yours might look a little bit different, but these sea glass pieces, most of them will have a hole drilled in them somewhere. If they don't worry, that's what our hot glue gun's for, okay? First thing I want to do is start working with our clay. Okay, so you should have one little pack of hardy clay in there. This is air dry clay. You've probably worked in school with something similar to this. When I say it's air dry, it means once it's opened and exposed to the air, it will start drying. So whatever portion you are not working with, you should put back into your bag. I actually have a little baggie here that I've used before, but I'm gonna open this one. And the first shape that we're going to work on is a starfish, okay? I'll show you guys how to make a starfish. Let's go ahead and open the package. I just take this corner piece and give it a little tear, and that should open it up. Tear it from the other side too. And I'm gonna take about 1/3 of this. 1/3. So that means 1, 2, 3. 3 of these would make a whole part of this hardy clay. But I'm only gonna take 1/3. If it's 1, 2, 3. If it was divided into 3 spots, I'm gonna take one of those sections. Then I'm gonna take my clay that I'm not using. I'm going to put it in this bag with no air. Set it aside. I'm going to need a little bit more of that later. Okay, let's take this. Let's cut it in half. Okay, so now I have 2 portions. Oh, and it looks like I have some fun brown in here. I don't know how that happened. And I'm going to roll half of it into a ball. Okay, I might squish it down a little bit. And then with this piece, I'm going to make 5 little balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, but I need 5, so I'm going to take a little bit from each one of these. I need 5 equal parts. Yes. Yeah, that seems about equal to me. And I am going to roll each one of these to a ball and then make it like a little carrot. Roll into a ball and then a little log or like a little carrot. Roll into a ball. Now I don't want those little carrots to be too thin. I like them kind of chunky, like a little baby carrot. Oh look, and this is starting to look like a sun. Roll into a log. Little carrot. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5. Okay, Now I just put these around that little flattened ball shape and then just pushed each one of those in. Kind of looks like a sun, right? Kind of looks like a little sun. I'm just going to start forming, and I'm going to push on the side here and then push down. So in between each one, it's a little rounded. I'm going to push that in a little bit. Push it in. Push it in. And then flatten. Not too flat. And then the sides of these little fingers come out to a little bit more of a point. So I'm just using my fingers to kind of make them pointy, just a little bit at the end. Okay. Now something else that may be helpful at this point is if you have a fork or a toothpick, you can, or even the back of a paintbrush, you could start making little dots to add some little texture in your starfish. And I definitely poke down more around where the little legs attached, because I want to make sure those two pieces of clay really work in together and they don't separate. Can you see that texture I'm making on the starfish? Maybe I don't want those little legs as pointy as they are. I'm going to squish them in a little bit. We've probably got about 20 minutes or so to work with the clay before you start noticing the textures getting a little bit different and drying. So I'm just going to keep poking little holes, pressing down, making impressions to create a texture on my starfish. Take your time. And don't forget to go on the sides too. All right, so notice my front side is all textured. I love that. But now I want to flip it over and make sure that I create texture and that these legs are bonded on the back side too. So I'm just taking, you can take your finger and push it. I'm actually using the back of this paintbrush. Or again, if you have a toothpick or something pointy, even a pencil. Pencil would add a little bit of color on there too. That might be nice, adding like a little shading, because usually starfish aren't completely white unless they've been bleached. A lot of times you'll see them in the store like that because they've been treated. But starfish actually come in many different colors. I've seen them red, I've seen them orange, and kind of a purpley color too. I do want to make sure that those legs, I'm pushing the legs into the body so they're attaching well too. Okay. Oh, I think this starfish looks really fun. He's got a lot of character to him. Yeah? And I can start to feel that it's getting kind of the texture, it's starting to dry. I can definitely tell that. I'm gonna make sure I get poking in some of those sides too. That looks great. My starfish. Now, if I wanted to maybe do a little, another something, I could take a little bit more of my clay and maybe do a sand dollar. So I'm just gonna take a really small amount. This amount is like a big marshmallow. And now I'm done with the clay for today, so I'm gonna take all the air out and make sure I seal this so I can use it next time. I can come revisit clay things. Okay, so this is how you can make a sand dollar. Take a little piece of clay. Again, it's about the size of kind of 2 marshmallows. I'm gonna make a ball. Then I'm gonna press it kind of flat with my finger. I kind of like that it has the texture in it. Pressing it now with my hands. And I want to make sure it's in kind of a round shape, not an oval, but more of a round. And I actually really like this raw texture, this edge, how it's not smooth. I like that. I really like how that looks. I'll just kind of form it. And again, I'm going to use the back of my paintbrush. I'm going to make kind of a flower. So I use the end of my paintbrush and more in the center, I just pressed. Can you see how this is at an angle? So I pushed harder like in the middle, like I'm pointing that brush down, and I'm gonna make a star. Three, 4, 5. Yeah. And then oftentimes they have little holes in them too. We could Google that and see exactly where the holes are, because I don't remember. But for now, I'm just gonna poke a couple holes in it. In between. And I wanna say they're like little ovals. So I have that guy, and I just poked a hole right through that without tearing it. Maybe I'll do another one here. Researching how they really look would probably be a good idea. But I think it's looking pretty good, right? Maybe that's enough. Ta-da. Now I need for these to completely dry before we attach it to this rope. But what I can do in the meantime is go ahead and get these beads ready and put those on my little mobile top form. Okay, look what we got. We have this really cool string, twine, in beautiful ocean colors. Beautiful. Let's take them out and take a look at all these colors we have. Ooh. Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is take one of my strings like this, and I'm going to put this one, I'm going to find the middle, so I just in half, right? This is the middle. Grab it. And I'm going to tie it to the middle of this to start my mobile. So I just tied it on there. Let's give it one more knot. To secure it. Okay. So this will be where everything hangs from. But I also want to wrap one of these around, 1, 2, a couple of times. And that just adds some interest to the top of this. And then I'll do 1, 2, maybe 3, because I want these to hang at different lengths. And then let's put a little dab of glue where that knot was, just to secure it in place. So I just put a little hot glue right there. Okay. So now we have our first hanging pieces. I'm going to take another string. Or why don't we go ahead and start adding some of the seashells or sea glass. That's what I mean, sea glass to the end. Now this one, they're all going to have different places where you could string it through. If you didn't want to string it through, you could wrap some twine around and put hot glue. There's several different solutions on how you can do this. Perhaps our string won't fit through here, so you would have to hot glue it. Let me put my close-up glasses on. And let's see if I can string this. So my first attempt is not good. Let's see if I can do this side. It might just be a little too big for that. So guess what? We're going to wrap this around. Actually going to put a little bit of glue at the top. This is called solutions. So if something doesn't work, we'll create another solution for it. So I put a little dab of glue and I'm just going to wrap this around. Okay. And I'll set that to dry. Now these guys are still drying, so I'm not gonna attach those quite yet, but we're gonna use that same technique when they are dry. Let's see if I can get this through any of them. Oh, yes. This one happened to go through this guy, so I'll just tie a knot at the end several times. And I'll want to put a little piece of hot glue on that later as well. Let's see if this will go through here. Are we going to be lucky? Oh, we are lucky today. These two are working out. Now I don't want this particular bead to slide off, so I'm going to tie a knot, maybe 3 at the end, to make it bigger than that little hole. Be like a little tassel hanging. So now on this string, I have 2 pieces. Ooh, looky there. Let's go ahead and attach these to the rope. Slide it on here, just like we did the one before. But this time, I have these guys at the end. Let's tie a knot. Tie it again to make sure it's secure. Whoops. Now, I like it when they hang at different lengths. What you can see now is, oops, this little guy fell off. I'm gonna attach him at the very end because he's gonna give me problems, I can tell. I'm gonna go around a couple more times with this one so it's not the same level here. Okay, so just go around my stick a couple more times. And then I can tie another little knot. These beads are so pretty. Oh yes, I like that better. Ta-da! And it's really fun how we've got the twine is wrapped around several times up here too. Maybe I want to hang the starfish on this one next, but you need to make sure it's dry before you do that. Another little tip, you could hot glue it here and take this twine and wrap it around and secure it. That's another way to do it too. But as you can see, we're just adding our mobile pieces, so everything hangs at different sizes and in between in different spaces. Oh, this is going to be great, this little starfish here. And then I think I'll hang this guy up here. So cute. All right, so I'll come back and finish this once these pieces are dry. Okay guys, we are back and I'm gonna show you how to complete your mobile. My hardy clay pieces are now dry. They've been sitting out for like 2 hours, I would say. So for me, they're dry. This little shell kept falling off. So guess what? I'm not gonna use him. He is getting relocated to another project, okay? Sometimes that's just what happens. I'm going to show you now how to attach the starfish. So this piece right here, we had tied earlier, and that little guy fell off. Well, I'm gonna use that as an opportunity right now. So I'm going to take this, I'm just gonna cut that little loop off. I don't need that. So any of your hanging pieces, you can go like that. Just take a little spot of glue, and I'm using the hot glue gun, and I'm just putting on just like that, okay? So you can see that. Now, I'm going to take this other string that I have, and I'm gonna put it on that piece of glue. I might need just a little bit more glue. and I'm going to wrap it around. Probably don't need all this, so I could make that a little bit shorter, which I'm gonna do. Sorry, a little confusing. We'll get it. Just gonna cut it, so this will be easier. So I'm just gonna wrap it around the top, and each time crossing over that little bit of hot glue. And then the last time around, put it down. Okay, now I won't pick it up yet. I'm just gonna let it rest there. And you can wrap it around the entire arm, that's fine too. And then my last piece that I have, oh, and I think I'm gonna trim this one. Trim that, trim this guy. Maybe I want this, what do we call this? Sand dollar to hang up here. Now I did make a little hole, which is perfect. And I did make it big enough so this can actually go through. And I'll just tie a little knot here. And I love that all of these are at different lengths, so it shows some interesting design in your mobile. Ta-da! And there you have it. A cute little mobile to hang up in your home. I do have extra cord here. I could wrap around. Maybe I find something on the beach that I want to hang and put another one down too. So there you go, your cute little mobile that you can hang in your home. Bye.